Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today, I finally got all of my Arrow 50% off Barnes & Noble sale haul. It finally all showed up today, the last bit of it. They only shipped it in two 2 days, but it was actually 3 packages the way they shipped them out, which was a little odd, but I assume it all had to do with stock because we got some really good things in here today. Some new stuff, some classic stuff, and some more recent things as well. So stick around and check out what I got this time. Hello everyone, my name is Jeff, and welcome back to my channel, JOHNDOEJUGGALO. If this is your first time here, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Like my daughter says, it's free, and you can always change your mind later. If this is not your first time here, welcome back. This is where you're going to find me discussing my favorite things about movies and music, video games, and the physical medias that surround all of those types of mediums. So please sit back and relax and check out this next video. All right, so for those of you that may not know, Arrow does a 50% off sale through Barnes & Noble. I believe it's every January because that was one of the first sales I ever hit up for a Arrow sale was through Barnes & Noble, and it was January of 2024, and I had grabbed like Mallrats and the Warriors, I think. Well, this year I decided to go a little bit heavier into the paint and we got ourselves 4 this year. So we doubled it up a little bit. I've learned a lot more about Arrow in the last year, and they released some really good films in 2024. So we're going to start off with the only Blu-ray I got in this set this time, and it will probably get a 4K because it says that it has a 4K master on the disc, I believe. And this is a DVD upgrade in my collection because, like I've said, I'm spending 2025 doing a lot of upgrading and curating and that kind of deal. We already know we love this film. This is one of my wife's favorites, and it's in my top 3 Ridley Scott films, and that's going to be Legend. This has Tom Cruise and Mia Sara and Tim Curry in it. Wow. Tim Curry as the devil in this is just nightmare fuel. And this has the theatrical cut and the director's cut, both on Blu-rays. And it has special edition contents and whatnot. This also, will have the best transfer of any version of this film, I'm sure, because it's Arrow Video. I just thought this would be a really nice one to put on our Arrow shelf. Like I said, it's one of my wife's favorites. It's one of my favorites. And I figured that'd be a good way to kick off the sale. And for our next one, this one was highly praised last year when it came out. I believe it came out last August, and it came out just in time for that time of the year, the spooky season of the year, and everyone said it was limited edition, and I believe it still is. I don't know how much longer it will last for ones that want it, but I was able to secure it, and that is Friday the 13th from 2009. I went and seen this in the theater and have always really, really enjoyed this movie. Now, this has the killer cut and the theater cut. And this is also another Blu-ray to 4K upgrade that I'm doing. I have the day one studio release Blu-ray, and it has the theater and killer cut on it as well. But they went out and put both copies, each on their own 4K disc, which I think is very awesome, with lots of extra contents. We have lots of extra features. Pretty much everything I think that's ever been a feature for this film is on here. I really dig the slipcover on this. So, and like I said, I've always really enjoyed this movie, so I'm very happy to be adding it to the Arrow shelf. I'm finding that most of my Arrows are actually just some of my favorite films. I haven't stepped too far out in the fashion of blind buys. At least not yet. And for my next one, I wanted to try to grab myself a new release when I did my order. And, well, the other new release that came out in January that I was really interested in grabbing, it went out of stock really quick. And from what I understand, besides it being a big box, the 4K might not be much different than the studio release. So I did not get Inglourious Bastards. That's not what this one is. This is the other new release that I was excited for this month, and that is The Cell. Now, this apparently has a bad spot on the director's version, which would be on the disc 1, which kind of stinks because that's where all the extra features and everything are at. Well, a good majority of them. And but it has the theater cut and the director's cut on that same disc. But apparently there's a missing scene and some missing audio on the director's cut of the film. Everyone said that Arrow should do a disc replacement. They're usually pretty good about getting those out. There hasn't been one announced for it yet. But me and my wife, actually, we just bought the Blu-ray and added it to our collection last June. So we've only had it for a little more than a half a year. So it was a very quick turnaround for the upgrade, but we really enjoyed it. I hadn't seen it in many years until we bought it last summer. And when we watched it, I was like, yeah, I still really enjoy this movie. So when they announced the Arrow, I figured, well, that's par for the course because, well, I bought the Blu-ray, so of course it would get the upgrade. But like I said, I'm very excited about this one. It's got some of my favorites in it. I love Vincent D'Onofrio. He's one of my favorite actors. And I actually like Vince Vaughn in most things I see him in. And I've not watched a lot of Jennifer Lopez stuff. But like I said, that doesn't really matter. I like The Cell. And that was, that was a way for me to be able to get a new release at 50% off. Like I say, I don't get new releases too often. I'm not much of a day one buyer, but when it's 50% off on the pre-order and it's one that I want, I figure that's probably the best way for me to get it before it just runs out. Because this isn't a limited, they're marking this as not a special edition, but as a limited edition as well. So this will probably be one that the slipcover and stuff goes away from. So that's why I decided that this was one that I wanted to add to the Arrow shelf this time. Okay, so we're going to get to something that I don't normally do. I don't usually drop I usually don't drop over $25 too often, or even up to $25 too often on a blind buy. I'll usually, use a streaming service to test drive a movie first before I spend $20 or $25 on it. I'm just a little particular about that. But this movie got nothing but raves all year last year. And it's an old movie. I had never seen it. It's one that me and my good buddy Huck until last year had missed out on when it came out back in 2007. And that's going to be Trick or Treat. Now, this 4K got such rave reviews from everyone in the physical media movie community. They talked about how great the 4K transfer looked, how great it sounded, and just how fun and exciting the movie itself is if you had never seen it. Like I said, I don't normally do blind buys, but I've only ever seen this Blu-ray in the wild one time ever, because I assume that most people that buy it, they enjoy it and they keep it, whether, you know, no matter the format. I seen it one time at my record store. And when I had told my uncle about it, he said, hey, you should grab that. It's a fun movie. When I went back to go try to grab it for the $7 or $8 that it was there, it was gone. So I had missed out on it. So when they turned around and they announced this, I just thought it was perfect time for me to get it. Now I know this came out, according to this sticker, it was stocked on 10/29/24. So that might have just been a restock. But I know I probably should have got this and watched it around Halloween time. But I like horror movies all times of the year. And this is a horror anthology movie, and I really dig horror anthology movies the more that I watch them. And there's not that many of them out. But the ones that I've seen, especially in my more recent years, I've really enjoyed. This has a bunch of special features on it, and I'm assuming it's pretty much every special feature that exists for the film. It is in Dolby Vision, so it will probably look beautiful. And it's in a DTS 5.1. Now, I think most of these are actually in DTS. I don't know how much Arrow messes with Dolby Atmos. What I have learned is even if they're the old Blu-ray sound mixes, when they put them on a bigger 4K disc, say it's like a 100 gigabyte disc, it gives the audio more bandwidth, so the audio sounds quite a bit better. I learned that with the Kill Bill movies, and I'm sure that Arrow is about the same when it comes to theirs, because they treat all of their restorations so well. All right, y'all. So this is the haul. This is the stack this time. For me, this is a very big haul. I know that it's 50% off, and that I could have spent a lot more money on these to obtain them and get them into my collection. So I shouldn't be too upset about the price in which I did pay for them at 50% off. But you see what the stickers are on these. I had lots of Barnes & Noble credits and all of that. What I paid out of my pocket was about $26 with gift cards that I had obtained, and with a coupon from my Criterion pickup in November. I try to roll those over, and I got a coupon from this that I'll roll over to Criterion in July. That's usually all I use Barnes & Noble for the most part, and the occasional book that my wife might want. But like I said, guys, I think I got some great stuff here. If I didn't get good things, you know, let me know if you think that I maybe shouldn't have got something here that I got. But I feel like I got some just pure goodness this time. But that's gonna do it. If you've made it to the end of this video, thank you. I truly appreciate all the support. The support has just been amazing. You guys have really made me feel like I've made some great friends and relationships that I'm lucky to have. If you would like to support beyond liking and hitting the bell notification, subscribing if you're not already, you could share this video out with other fans of Arrow. Maybe they would like to chime in on what I picked up this time, and maybe suggest ones for the next Arrow sale for me to grab. I just don't particularly pick Arrow up on full price. So if there's ones that you guys would like to suggest for me, you know, leave them down in the comments. All that helps out tremendously and makes all of this that I do fun. I also have channel memberships. If you would like to join the channel membership, You can hit the join button down below. There are 2 different tiers. Either one is fine. I like to take time to thank my members at the end or somewhere within my videos. And you get the shout out and early membership videos from time to time, and polls that determine things that I watch and things that I may talk about on the channel. But like always, thank you all so very much. And until next time, later.